Well, let's face it, I won't be any more ready than I am right now, which is not at all. A couple of things. If there is noises in the background, number one, the window is open because it's really hot. And so if you hear like noises in the background, might be that. If you hear what sounds like absolutely abandoned kitten, he's not a kitten and he's not abandoned. I just had to close the door to the bedroom to prevent him from being my boss assistant. And he doesn't like closed doors. So also he's not abandoned. There's another human being in the flat. He just doesn't like when he doesn't have access everywhere. But I have my camera here on my table, and he would be inspecting everything and jumping on my table, and he's like 7 kilos. He's a huge cat, so I don't want him to break anything. So that's why. If you hear him, he might be napping, but if you hear him, that's why. Also, if I look sweaty as fuck, then that's because I am. It's really hot here today. Plus, for some reason, my body just decided that today is a great time to have low fever, so I've been feeling like shit. And if you're asking yourself, well, Syrian, why are you doing a video out of the blue when you're feeling quite sick? Well, the answer is that if I would wait until I feel 100% ready, that day would never come. And well, I know this video will be a mess. Will probably be all over the place, because I am anxious as fuck. And not at all ready. But if I learned one thing over who knows how many years, last couple of years, is that I have to accept that I won't be perfect at things from the start. I don't know if I will private the rest of the videos on this channel. I might. Well, maybe not right now, but maybe. Well, some of them, definitely. But I started this channel 6 years ago at this point. And I wanted to, you know, spread awareness about mental health and other things, and just like talk and get some thoughts out. But I got really into my own head. I was constantly comparing myself to others. I wasn't very confident back then. To be fair, I'm not exactly super confident right now, but I am getting a little bit better at it, I think. Lots of therapy. It's been a lot of therapy for a long time. But yeah, I was very much in my own head. I was constantly comparing myself to other people. Like, oh look, you're not as beautiful or as self-confident, or your videos don't look as well. They don't look as good as these other videos. Also, English is my second language, and I'm nervous right now, so if I'm making mistakes in English, cut me some slack. I got really into my own head, and I just killed any enthusiasm that I had back then for this project. But I think I've gone a long way since then. I very likely have an inattentive ADHD, or some form of ADHD, but like getting diagnosed as an adult and somebody who was assigned female at birth in this country is, I don't want to say next to impossible, but not in the city where we currently live. I saw a specialist, and she was basically like, I think she was neuropsychologist, someone like that, sort of like that title. She was basically like, yeah, you have all these symptoms that symptoms of ADHD. I was like, oh, you have all these symptoms, you know, but I don't think you have ADHD. And then she listed a shit ton of symptoms of ADHD. And I was put on ADHD medication. I kind of had to fight with my psychiatrist a little bit, but we got there. And surprise, surprise, they work for me, at least to some extent. Not as great, I could probably use a higher dose, but then higher dose triggers my anxiety. So, you know, balancing things. Since then I also realized, besides the ADHD, I am way more neurodivergent than I thought in like how I view things, how I experience things, etc. I do think I have autism as well, but again, getting diagnosed with that as an adult, as someone who was assigned female at birth, in this country, probably impossible. Well, I would have to look really. It would probably be even worse than trying to get diagnosed ADHD. It's like I've been streaming on Twitch for 3 years right now, but I've been using just like very, very basic webcam. But if I wanted to make videos on that webcam, the quality would be shit. So I spent the last 2 weeks trying to figure out how to connect my DSLR to my computer to use it for recording. And I sincerely hope I am successful. What I want to do with this channel, the thing that I started, which is talking about mental health and being neurodivergent, and also like some other things that can affect your mental health as well, and like some physical health, like being dismissed for endometriosis for years and dealing with infertility and all these things, just my own experience. I apologize. This is really just like more rambly video because I wanted to restart this project for a while, but I wasn't sure where to start. I do have quite a long list of ideas and topics that I want to talk about, either like from my own experience or commenting on a certain video or talking about a book, but I wasn't sure where to start. And then my husband was like, well, then why don't you, if you don't know where to start, then why don't you just sit down and talk about how you're struggling to start things? And I'm like, you know what? That's actually a good idea. I still have this compulsion that I have to be perfect at things. That in order to start something or present something to like anyone, it has to be perfect. Number one, things will probably never be perfect because that's just how life works. And realistically, I also have several mental health issues and physical health issues. I deal with, certain barriers and limited amount of physical and executive energy on a daily basis. So very likely I will in the future record videos where I don't feel 100%. But that's just how it is. And also, it's not realistic to expect to be perfect at something right from the start. I'm sure there are geniuses who just start something and they excel. I'm sure there are people like that, but I'm not one of them. I am just like normal, average human being trying to get through life. Expecting myself to be perfect immediately just sets me up for failure. That sets me up for more heartbreak and more feeling like I'm just failure overall, because I've been struggling to start with starting things and keeping up my motivation, which, you know, would have been helpful if I knew about ADHD and how it affects A5 people, how it presents more in A5 people. It is what it is. I'm trying to move forward with my life and with myself, learning coping skills, learning skills, and also giving myself some grace, giving myself some love. I've been very much working on loving myself more. One of the huge things for recovering from eating disorder was learning to love my body. Will I be uploading regularly? Probably not, at least not from the start. Well, and my camera is yelling at me that it's running out of battery, so I will make this very quick. I will see you all at some point, hopefully in, well, a couple of weeks. I do want to get to some regular schedule, but, you know, steps. I love you all. I will leave some links if you want to watch me stream sometimes, or check out some of my, either my personal Instagram that has a lot of cat videos and cat pictures, or some other stuff that I do. I will leave that in the comments. I will leave that in the description. I'm getting nervous that the camera will turn off in a minute. So, yeah, we'll see you again at some point. Take care. Don't forget that you are all awesome, and I appreciate you for getting through my rambling. Bye, everyone.